Hello leaders, Dr. Patrick Jinks here, leadership and strategy coach and president of the Jinks Perspective. How clear and simple is the language your organization uses? Cue it up. Okay everyone, perhaps you noticed at the beginning of this video that I introduced myself as Dr. Patrick Jinks. If you caught that, kudos for being so observant. Part of the reason that we haven't released any videos or podcast episodes in November is quite frankly due to the fact that I was wrapping up my dissertation and defense. That's all done now, and I have my PhD in organizational leadership. Next month, I intend to share a summary of the results of my research with you. My dissertation was on how nonprofits are measuring their performance against their stated missions. And I discovered some fascinating things that I think you'll find valuable, so stay tuned. But I digress. Let's get back to this week's episode. The words we use are so critical. I would say that they're powerful, but that really depends on the ones we use. Many times we use words that are powerful to us because they're part of our organizational nomenclature, but more often than not, many of our stakeholders actually glaze over when they hear some of the words that we use. And don't get me wrong, we know that the words we use have deep, real meaning. We know they're tied to our mission. We know that they inform our work, but we take it for granted that everyone fully understands them outside our organization when we say them out loud to others. Words and phrases like collective impact or moving the needle, vulnerable populations, even the term common good, used so frequently in the social sector, but do most people know what they mean? Or do they just go in one ear and out the other because they're overused and we've become desensitized to them? This becomes even more important when we go into the next level of our lexicon, because I work with organizations who traffic in words like resilience and equity, population health, social impact. Again, to be clear, these are absolutely legitimate, powerful, meaningful terms and concepts, but only to those of us who use and think about them on a daily basis. So here's a simple coaching exercise for you, and you can even download the coaching sheet that I've included that goes with this episode. You can find it by clicking in the link provided in the video description below. Here's the exercise. Write down a few words and phrases that are important to your organization, but that others may not fully understand. Next, tell a story that illustrates the meaning of that word or phrase without using the word or phrase. Write it with a third grader in mind if you must, but make it simple and clear. Next, take a crack at writing some new definitions for those words and terms that everybody can actually understand. And then review your organization's collateral materials like your brochures and your website and see where there is an opportunity to replace those misunderstood nebulous terms with some of the more clear and simple and powerful ones. You may define resilience, for example, as someone's ability to thrive and flourish in life despite some very difficult experiences or circumstances. You might define equity as a lever for making sure everyone has a real shot at success. Of course, you may define those terms very differently than the way I just did. Here's the last thing I'll say about this concept. Many times, it isn't just the external stakeholders that have difficulty with the terms. I've worked with plenty of clients whose board and staff members don't fully understand the terms themselves. Without clarity and simplicity of the most central and critical concepts of our work, we can't have alignment. That's the Jinks Perspective for this week. As always, if you'd like to explore ways that the Jinks Perspective can help you or your organization achieve greater clarity, simplicity, and alignment in your mission work, I hope you'll reach out and schedule a free discovery call with me by clicking the link that's in the video description below. I also hope you will subscribe to this channel if you haven't already by clicking the subscribe button below, and make sure that you include the bell icon so that you're notified when we drop new episodes. And of course, as always, I hope you'll share this episode with a friend or a colleague who you think might find it useful. And we'll see you here next time. Lead on.